Welcome to the DrVtach Show. This podcast is long-form conversation hosted by DrVtach with the top guests in the world of esport, owners, managers, pros, semi-pros, former pros, and content creators of mini games. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Okay, folks. Welcome to the DrVtach channel. We got a special guest. Now, guys, when I say special, he is special. He has lifted up the hammer on SI, Rainbow Six Pro. He is a phenomenal player. His name is Achieved. This guy is brutal. He's good. He's played with Merc. He's played with Bo. They're all teammates. And he was with TSM. And yes, he won SI in 22. Guys, I want to introduce you to this phenomenal player. I am excited of this episode because to talk to a champion is amazing and is an honor to have him here on the DrVtach show. Ashiv, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I appreciate you for having me. And yeah, I mean, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to just sit down and talk about some things.
Yeah. So Chief, you're now living the retired life. You were with DarkZero, and then when was it you said goodbye? You hung up the gloves.
Yeah. So we went to Copenhagen. And we played the major and stuff, and then as you know, and everyone else knows, there's a pretty big break between that and the next stage that started. So we were on break, and I took a long break from the game. I think I took like a month break from it. I didn't play it at all. I didn't touch it. And, I decided to come back, like a week before, we were going to start practicing again and stream the game, play some ranked, and, get back in the groove of things type deal. Get my mechanics back up to par and stuff. And as I started streaming the game again, I just realized, wow, I really don't enjoy this as much as I used to. And I think it really because before the break, I was already, it was already in my head about, stepping away from the game and stuff. And then coming back after that long break, it really sealed the deal for me. And I think whenever I stepped down was like around June. So almost half a year ago. Yeah, about 6 months ago.
Wow. You miss it?
Yeah, no, I do. I will be honest, I do a lot of times look back, especially at the TSM days, nothing against DZ. I had a phenomenal time over there, but I was only over there for 2 to 3 months, so it wasn't a long time. But I do miss that squad as well. But I really look back at the TSM days, because we lived in a team house in Vegas for 2 years, 6, 7 guys, just chasing the dream. And we had met a lot of memories out there, and I definitely look back at those those times, and I'm like, man, I really do miss those times. Those were great times that we had. So yeah, a lot of nostalgia when I look back at that.
Yeah, because you're with the team and it's your friends. You guys were basically brothers. You had that special bond. You stick together. And of course you're gonna miss it. You're gonna miss that chemistry. You're gonna miss the good times you guys had together, the achievements, the winning, and of course leaving TSM. I mean, obviously TSM left, but you go into another org and starting the process all over again. New teammates, learning their habits, learning how their game style, it does take a toll. A lot of people think it's easy. It's not easy. You had to start from ground up with TSM, and then now going in when you've gone to with DarkZero. Of course, it's going to take some time.
Yeah,
but, I know you miss it. So now rolling back through the years, how was it you started gaming in general? Were you a console? I mean, were you a console player, or you always a PC player? How did that start?
Yes, I mean, I was always a console player. Back in the day, I started gaming when I was young. We always had the Nintendo, and the early PlayStations and stuff like that. I was always a console gamer, basically. And, I played a lot. I played some games. I was a very like outdoors kid though too. Up until honestly probably about high school. Like before high school, I didn't really game that much. I gamed a little bit, but I didn't game a whole lot. And then but before high school, I was like a C student because, I was in baseball and all that. And I was doing a lot of, outside activities. And then when high school came around, I was like, you know what, I'm going to start gaming more. And I started gaming more and my grades started getting better because, I was inside more, at studying and stuff more. But yeah, I was a console player all the way up until I think it was my junior year of high school, even like my senior year of high school. I was working at Publix, and I saved up enough money to build my own PC. So I built my own PC, and at the time I was playing, I wasn't playing any first person shooters. I never played first person shooters at that time on PC. I only really played games like Minecraft. I played League. I was pretty decently into League at the time. And I played some survival games like Ark, Rust, and stuff like that. And then I started playing Siege for my senior year on console at first. Well, actually, originally I actually bought the game on PC, and I was I think I got placed bronze. That's why, like back in the day, I would always rock the bronze season 1 charm, and I still have it to this day. And people would always comment on it and stuff. But that's why I have the bronze charm.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was so, like I said, I never played, FPSs on PC at the time. So I was like, you know what? No, I'm going back to console. Like I tried it. It's not for me. I'm going back. And I played on console with my IRL friends and stuff like that. We just had a good time. And I think, yeah, we were like Diamond at the time, which at the time was the highest rank. And some dude messaged me, some random dude. I remember his name. His name was Nuck1992 was his name at the time. And he messaged me and he's like, hey man, have you ever thought about competing in Pro League or anything? And I was like, I didn't even know this game had a pro scene, like this was back, at the end of year 1, right before they took it off of console. This is, I was like, I've only ever really watched like League at the time, Cloud9, TSM, those teams in League. I never even knew Siege had one. And he said, yeah, man, well, I mean, we're going to play in qualifiers and stuff, blah, blah, blah. I gave it a shot with him, and the very first time I scrimmed with him, I hated it. Like, I did not like it. And, I told him, I was like, yeah, this ain't for me, dude. I don't like it. He said, oh, come on, man, just, give it one more shot, one more opportunity. And I said, okay, sure. And I gave it another shot, and eventually, I liked it. And then I just kind of kept playing with them until they took it off of console, and then I switched to PC, and it just went from there.
Wow. So basically, kind of happened like with me. I was a Battlefield 4 guy, and I wanted to go like pro on that game, and I was doing really good. I was ending up top 30 in a lot of stuff, and did really good in it. When I first tried Rainbow, I hated it. I was like, this suck, All you do is camp, Usually Call of Duty players and they all complain about campers. So going into Rainbow, oh my God, you gotta camp. If not, you die real quick. So, it's like, all you do is camp, you go in here and you just die real quick. This makes no sense.
Yep, you gotta wait 3 minutes. I love playing Call of Duty.
You can't, spawn again. You gotta wait and etc. So then I just went ahead and I was like, okay, fine. I give it another shot. Give it a try. I played the beta. So I do have that peacock skin on one of my accounts. I don't even remember it. So I got that. It's very rare skin. And I enjoyed it because of course, I could brag about it because I've played the beta, but I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. It was but then afterwards, throughout the season one, that's when I just started getting into it, saw
Yeah.
the competitiveness, and enjoyed it. But so yeah, so then afterwards you got into PC. How do you went from playing PC getting into pro?
Yeah, so at the time, whenever we switched over to PC and started playing it, I knew it was going to be a very long process for me to get comfortable at PC. And um and I would have to like I started doing a lot of like aim training stuff and um keyboard typing stuff just to get my my hands and stuff used to like playing with a mouse and keyboard. But
Mhm.
when I first switched over, I switched over with some old Xbox Pros from back in like year one, I think. I'm trying to remember their name. Um, dude, it's hard for me to remember their names, but there was like two or three of the guys who used to play pro on Xbox back in like year one, season one or two. They weren't super good. They were on like an 8th place team or 7th place team at the time. And I actually can't believe I can't remember their name. One of them's name was Finest X. I know that. And there was another dude who used to be on Elevate, I'm pretty sure. And I switched over with them, and we were very confident going into, the qualifiers and stuff. We didn't end up making it, but we got decently close, but we didn't, it wasn't enough to get there. And then some of those guys stopped playing, and I think I ended up I actually ended up joining another team, which everyone, most people will know. At the time, it was King Leo, and those guys who, originally were, most wanted, and what to this day is technically SSG. That was the original team back in the day. I was actually on the Challenger League team of that. It was me, King Leo, Crusher, Santa, and I forget who the last player was. But yeah, we were all on a team, and this was year 2, season 1, I want to say, or year 2, season 2 at the time. And I ended up playing with Challenger League with those guys, and they, we end up, I think at the time we were going into basically the finals to we were in the semifinals. If we won this match, we were going to go into the finals, and at that time it was automatic promotion to Pro League. It was no stuff like that. Well, me and King Leo, I guess at the time, we kind of had a falling out right before that match. So they ended up, dropping me right before that match. And then, they won that match, and then they went on to make Pro League basically from there. And then that team turned into like Most Wanted. And then later on, it turned into, what is now SSG. But yeah, getting kicked from that team taught me some stuff. And it also kind of like halted my progression a lot, because after that point, I made my own team, and I spent another year to year and a half in Challenger League trying to get back to that point. So,
Wow, I bet that kind of like kind of hit the gut when you got. I mean, getting kicked is no fun.
yeah.
I don't think that's a good feeling. And then seeing the team making it pro, it's like, oh gosh,
Yeah.
even worse is. Yeah, sometimes some people put the blame on okay, was it me then that was
Hmm.
affecting the squad that couldn't progress, or
Yeah.
what? It, it just
Yeah. Getting kicked it's definitely a wake up call. And, that's the only time that I've ever been, removed from a team, was that time. And, at the time, like, I'm still very good friends with Crusher to this day. And Crusher even has a clip of what got me kicked. And just looking back at it, it's funny. In my opinion, it was nothing like super bad. But I was very, like, back then, I was very young. I was, I think I was 19, going on to 20 at the time. And, if, people, put the blame on me, I was like, no, listen, that's, not my fault. Like, we all messed up basically. And, it definitely, it definitely teaches you, it definitely kind of wakes you up, and, you definitely gotta, especially in like team environments, you have to think before you say stuff. Definitely, because once you say something in like a team environment, you can't take it back. People are going to get their feelings hurt, or they're going to take it and they're going to run with it, and then it's going to change their perspective of you completely and all this stuff. So not only in life do you got to do that, but especially when you're working with a group of guys like every day, you're a 5-man squad and you're trying to win everything. You got to be very careful with like what you say.
That is true. Well, it's like any job. You're in a
Mhm.
business.
Yeah.
You guys are professional, and you got to take this as a business. Take it professional. You don't go to work at any job, any company, and say whatever you want to say. Tell the boss
Yeah.
go screw them. So you're gonna get fired. So you,
Yep.
you got to be very careful. How you say things, but no, lessons are learned. We all learn, live and learn. That's how life
Mhm.
is. We'll fall down. We just, get back up and then keep on walking and move forward towards things. And look at you now. You have achieved something that many haven't.
Mhm.
Because I feel, this is my perspective. What I my opinion. You could win any major, but winning the SI,
Mhm.
that's the main goal.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, we did some incredible things, over at TSM. Not only just winning the SI, but getting top 4 at 3 SIs, back to back to back. Like no team has ever done that. The only, I don't know of how many teams have even got top 4 back to back. Like not, obviously G2 won and NIP, got second and then won the next one. But other than like those two teams, I don't think any other team has ever, no team has done it 3 times, but get top 4 back to back to back was, that itself is very impressive. But yeah, winning it is, even to this day, it's hard for me to like, believe. Even like looking back at it, it's like, wow, it's crazy.
Now, you won the SI on 22. What other majors you won?
So we won during COVID, we won the major. We won the November major that was hosted at the Luxor. That was just NA teams. We won the US finals there. We won. It wasn't a major, but we won DreamHack. And back in 2019, DreamHack Montreal. And another like cool thing about TSM is that, um, like well, I will say it kind of sucks that we never got to win a major, I guess you could say. SI is bigger than major. So, we won that. It's cool, but we never got to win like a major, an international major. And it kind of sucks because in my opinion, the time that we played the best at TSM was during COVID. It was right before SI 22.
Mm.
So it was during the end of 2020, 2021 era. I think we were like really good. Or my bad, SI 21. Because that one was delayed a little bit because, COVID and everything. But during that time frame, I think on TSM we played the best that we ever did. Even when we won in 22, I think, at the end of 2020 is when we played the best. So I kind of sucks that COVID happened then, because I honestly believe that during that time frame we would have won an international major if it wasn't for COVID.
That's gotta that's gotta that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, it does, but
Money to your pocket, and
yeah.
then more trophies. I mean, geez, that sucks. Because when you know that your team is on fire,
Mm-hmm.
you guys could go unlimited. You guys could just make it. You win it. You have no fear. You guys are playing super. You guys, you guys know each other. You guys know when
Mm-hmm.
you guys are in your prime. Okay, guys, we're on fire. Let's just go at it. Let's pull full throttle. And we're gonna start winning. And you win, you win, you win, and then COVID hits.
Yep.
Damn, my God,
Yeah.
all this freaking sucks. Now we're gonna be off season. Now basically because of COVID, you're just gonna be
Mm-hmm.
playing. There's nothing to do. Just doing probably do what you guys were doing. Scrim at that time.
Yeah. So we were still scrimming and everything, and during the COVID, we were getting ready for, because at the time it was just domestic tournaments, like the November Major for us and the U.S. finals and stuff like that. And then shortly after they did SI again, but they did SI in like June of that year. They did it a few months after, because that's I guess the first time that they could do it. But
I have a question. This is kind of off the topic real quick. You mentioned Publix.
Yeah.
Okay. What state you're in? What state you live in?
I live in Florida.
Okay. Me too. So I was like, wait a second. Publix. I love their fried chicken. I said, wait a second. Is he from Florida? Because Publix is not all over the United States. They're just one section. And it's one of my favorite stores to get certain things, because all the rest is expensive as heck.
Yeah, no, they're definitely expensive now too. But yeah,
they're pretty expensive. But the buy one get one kind of like you gotta know they try to pull a fast one on me once. I saw mayonnaise. It says like $6, $5.99. Something like it's expensive, $6. I was like, oh, but buy one get one.
Yeah,
I ended up getting it. I went to Walmart the next day, had the same mayonnaise for $3.
Yeah. They're expensive. You gotta be careful when you go to Publix. I'll get like the fresh meats and stuff like that from Publix, because obviously when I go to like Aldi and stuff like that, I tend to stay away from that type of stuff. But I worked at Publix for 5.5 years. Which is crazy to think about, because someone who's also played pro league. I'm 26 now. I just turned 26.
Okay.
A few months ago. But as someone who's played pro league for 4.5 years, and then I've also worked at Publix for 5.5, it's just crazy to think about. But yeah, I started working at Publix when I was 15, going on to 16. I had a job at Publix before I was even 16. I was walking to work there, stuff like that. So, but yeah, I mean, I loved it.
It says a lot about you working at Publix, because they're very picky in who they hire.
Oh yeah, I think back in the day they were like, it was back in. Okay, so when I first got hired at Publix, it was like you need to know someone to get hired at Publix. But now I think it's changed. But back in the day, you like,
more like
it was
a refer program. Who referred you? Okay, I'll ask them. And my stepson worked for Publix. I think it was 7 years. And then he went to go study. He wanted to become a barber, and we're like, fine. And they're very, very selective. It's not.
They are.
They're very. I don't know how is it now, but the employees, they gotta be very professional, very courteous, helping. And when you say you worked at Publix, I was like, man, then he means all that. No wonder people love you, man.
Yeah, no, when I worked at Publix, I was back there closing the back office and everything. I was balancing the safe and doing all that stuff, and then going home at night and playing Siege. But it was actually funny because they wanted me to become a manager, and I was like, and at the time I was still in Challenger League, and I was like, no, I'm going to make it. I'm going to change my availability. I'm only going to work mornings, and they're like, okay. And then, a few months after that, they got tired of that, and they said, okay, listen, like, you need to make a decision. Like, if you want to, stay up here and continue to, work the customer service desk and, go on to like a team leader role, you need to open your availability up. And I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to do it, and eventually it paid off. But, I was just like, I had a really good feeling that I would, do something with Siege. And even when I was in Pro League, I didn't quit Publix. So when I first joined Pro League, I was on Excelerate Gaming for about 6 months. I still worked at Publix at that time. I think at the time we made $2,000 a month, which in my opinion, I was like, dude, this is awesome. Making $2,000 a month, playing video games. That's awesome. I didn't quit Publix then. I didn't quit Publix until TSN picked us up, which was 2019.
You didn't quit Publix because of the Stocks? This stock is amazing.
Yep. No, their stocks are good, and
The
Publix
stocks
is
are
good.
good.
Yeah.
Do you invest in stocks with them?
No, I never invested. I never invested my own money into stocks, but Publix is, they're a good company, and so at the time they gave me about $5,000 worth of stock just from me working there for the 4 or 5 years that I did,
Right.
because of just basically me working there. So I still have that, but I don't. I never. A lot of people do though. It's actually crazy because working at Publix, you talk to, all the other employees, and there's a lot of people at Publix back in the day. Now they have it limited where you can only put X amount in stock each quarter. But back in the day, people would go to the Publix credit union and they would take out loans to buy stock with, which
Wow.
I always thought was like, dude, that's crazy. But yeah, back in the day, people would do that.
I told my stepson one time I wanted to invest in Publix in their stock. That he goes, well, unfortunately, you got to be an employee.
Yep, you do.
I was
You do got to be an employee. And it's not only just being an employee, like you have to work there an X amount of hours to even be able to purchase stocks. Or like for me, for instance, in order for me, at the time, I had to work, I think on average was like 30 to 35 hours a week or something in order for them to credit me stock based on how much I work.
Wow.
Because they would give you, one stock for every X amount of hours you worked, I think, or something. So, but you could only get it if you worked like a consistent, like 30 to 35 hours a week, because they had a problem where a lot of people would work 1 day a month just to hold on to their like stock stuff.
Jeez. So they kind of caught on.
Yeah.
Their intentions of joining the company.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is a thing that you could become. My stepson told me there was something like a video they present to the new employees, like you could become a millionaire.
Yeah.
With working at Publix and and it's like with the stocks. I said, and I told him, what, you got to give them half your check or something? He goes, well, you got to work a lot of hours. Got to do this. There was this lady that I knew, one of the managers. I said, are you ever thinking about quitting or nothing? She goes, heck no, I'm about to get my million stock. Really? She goes, heck yeah. I'm going to keep on working until, I surpass it and keep on working because, taxes and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, okay. She's like, I got to think about everything.
Yeah, I have a very good friend who's actually he's an assistant customer service manager right now, and he's actually going on to be a customer service manager. But yeah, I would always, sometimes I talk to my store manager at the time, and they would be like, oh, I bought my husband a new truck with my dividend check. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, jeez.
I'm like, oh, okay, just your dividend check. You just go buy a new truck. That's nice,
Yeah.
But I could never do it. They, like I said, they wanted me to go that route and become a manager and stuff, but I couldn't do it because I need some type of schedule. I can't, one day have Saturday and Tuesday off, and then the next week have Thursday and Sunday off. Like I can't deal with that flip flop. Oh, tonight you're going to be here till 2 a.m. and then you're going to come in tomorrow at 7 and be here to 3 or whatever. I need some sort of routine. So
yeah, you need like a plan. You just don't go out. You need a schedule. You need something.
I like to have some consistency.
Yeah, correct. No, I agree with you. I'm the same way. I'm the same way. Now, have you studied anything? You got college, community college? Have you?
So at the time of me, when I worked at Publix and I was competing in Challenger League, I was actually going to college at the same time too. So not only was I working 35 hours a week, I was competing in Siege, but I also took 3 classes at college. And at the time, I was just doing my prerequisites, get my 2 years, my AA, and I think I got about halfway done with that until I, stopped along with that in Publix to play professionally. But now what I'm doing is I'm actually learning how to code. I'm going like the self-taught route though. I'm not going to school for it. Because so my brother is actually a programmer, and he went to UCF for computer science, and it's a very good school for computer science. And I've talked to him. I also have some other close friends that are they do coding as well, software development, web development, stuff like that. And I've talked to them, and from the consensus that I've got from people, they've all told me like, hey, you don't need a college degree. Would it help you get in the door at some places? Sure. But no matter what, if you have a degree or if you go the self-taught route, you have to have a lot of projects that you can show your work on. And even when they bring you in for an interview, you're going to have to, code for them, and you're going to have to solve equations and talk about data structures and stuff like that regardless. So, you don't have to go the degree route. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm not going to go that route. I'm going to go the self-taught route. So right now I'm doing a lot of classes, just sort of online classes, self-teaching. Right now I'm learning like HTML, CSS, and I'm about to move into like JavaScript and Python soon. So yeah, just, at the moment I'm just doing that. I'm still gaming. I still game quite a bit. I'm kind of all over the place still with what games I play. I tried streaming a little bit, a few months ago, like some League of Legends, and I, recently played a little bit of Tarkov. But yeah, I mean, I would love to be a streamer, but it's just hard for me to like find a game like I can sit down and play for that I can enjoy, for months and hours on end. So,
Well, there is some games that a lot of pros are playing recently. Is the finals,
yeah.
and it's very competitive. They seem to like it, and it's not like a humongous big map or anything. It's not boring. Basically is in a way is like Apex. Have you played that one yet?
Yeah, so I've seen the finals. I've played Apex and stuff like that. But surprisingly now, like I don't really actually enjoy FPS games that much. The only FPS game that I will actually play now is Tarkov a little bit. And even Tarkov, like, in my opinion, is like too campy, and you run into like 5-mans all the time. So that's why I've kind of even stared away from that. But I've been enjoying games like League of Legends, Path of Exile. And I've also actually picked up like some engineering games too, which is funny, like Dyson Sphere Program. And I've always been a really big like RTS fan too. So, it's crazy because like I don't even enjoy like I don't even like playing FPS games anymore. And I do think a big reason of that is because of if anyone who's ever watched me play knows I play with a very strange grip. It's a very strange grip of how I hold my mouse. And, when I play FPS games, I use that grip, and that grip it's not very comfortable. So I think that's a reason why I don't enjoy FPS games as much, because it just hurt. It physically hurts. So.
Wait, but what do you mean, like how the angle the way you hold your mouse?
So this is how I would hold my mouse. And I know the viewers can't see, but for any of you who've watched my stream, there's been YouTube videos. It's similar to the CSGO Pro twist, I basically hold my mouse the same way. And I was actually, so the Score Esports put out a video about his grip, and I was in that grip. They brought me onto their show, and we talked about it a little bit. So anyone who, wants to, I guess, look more into that grip, the Score Esports put out a video of it about 2 years back now. About a year and a half, probably about 2 years, back. But yeah, it can be comfortable, but my body is just so like, after holding my mouse, like, relaxed, playing, more relaxing games, I don't want to go back to holding it like that.
That's got to be, I mean, that's got to be painful doing that for 5-8 hours in a row.
Oh yeah, no, it is.
Did it like hurt your fingernails or something?
It doesn't as much hurt with your fingernails, but it would just like, so for instance, for me, the grip wasn't the worst part for me. I actually like hunched over my desk a little bit and I had my elbow on my mouse pad. And my back, I started getting back problems because of just how I would sit at the desk. Now, if I grip that mouse with like, a good posture and I'm actually like, good back support and stuff like that, it would be fine. But it was the fact that my back was like arched over. It really did not feel good. So
It's
yeah.
Yeah. There's a buddy of mine. Actually, he's from Tampa. He's a popular streamer. He's one of the top players on Star Citizen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you like the space exploration game and
Yeah.
going
I
out,
love those games.
I'll introduce you to him. He is really, really good. He's got in contact with the devs and they reach out to him for opinions, a whole bunch of stuff. He's really well known.
That's cool.
But he plays standing up. I'm like,
really?
Wait 1 second. You're streaming and you're standing up. He goes, yeah, look. And I'm like, what the heck? And
for hours he plays like that, huh?
Hours.
Wow,
He'll
that's
do
crazy.
12-hour streams. He'll do 8-hour streams standing up. And he's probably like the second person that I know that will just do something like totally different than the norm of it, what anybody does. You're streaming, you're sitting down, you're relaxed, get a comfy chair, whatever, and just play. But no, he's doing it standing up.
Wow.
And he's so used to it. So I'm like, well, kudos to you. I don't know how can you do it.
Yeah, I know that people like will stand up for like an hour or two, stretch yourself. They'll play a little bit standing up, but I've never heard about anyone playing like their entire session standing up. That's yeah. Wow.
He plays the entire and I asked him, what do you do to I mean, you wear comfy. He bought this special mat. I think that's what the barbers use. It's like rubber. You can stand so it doesn't
makes sense.
Hurt your back or anything. Those cushion that doesn't take a toll. What do you call them? Stress relief or whatever. So,
yeah,
it's a weird name. So yeah, he uses that to game. So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that so, you had your style of holding your mouse, and then everybody has a unique style. I've seen people play with their keyboard literally sideways and completely half, like half a moon. You just like what the heck? How can you do with that?
Yeah, I play with my keyboard at like a 45-degree angle, but yeah, some people play with it at a 90-degree angle, and it's like, yeah, it's there's a lot of ways that people, everyone's different. Everyone has their different ways, and stuff like that. Luckily for me, my physical condition is still good. I would get back pains when I used to play like that, but it's nothing that is like irreversible or anything, or like I have pain. I don't have pain to this day or something, but there's some people out there, and like, if you know this player from League of Legends, his name is like Uzi, and he's like 23, I think, or he might be like 24 now. But the doctors have told him that his arms and his bones and his muscle structure is like equivalent of like a 55 or 60-year-old, and he's only 23. It's because of because of how much he plays and I guess his posture and stuff. So it's very important for anyone who's playing to be keep that in mind, because
of a 55, he's like, so his muscles is really got screwed up doing that.
Yeah, he had to take a break for a while because of that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, the worst I heard is I know somebody that was having heart problems because they were just taking so much caffeine to stay up, to be gaming late in the mornings and wee hours at 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And then he and I talked not long ago, about, I think like almost a year. Yeah, like a year or more ago. And he stated he had he had to seek a doctor and seek
Wow.
help because he was having heart issues, and they had to put him in so much medication and etc. He had to stay off of caffeine and a whole bunch of stuff
That's
because
awful.
yeah, I mean a lot of these young guys, they do whatever it takes to stay up.
Mm-hmm.
Then you see them, hey, I need some help. My sleep schedule is way off.
Yeah.
Of course, you've been playing 2, 3, 4, 5 in the
Mm-hmm.
morning till 8 o'clock, and then you go to sleep, and then you wake up, do what you got to do, then you go back to gaming at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, all the way up to 4 o'clock in the morning, 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. Of course, you do that every single day and not sleep a lot. You're gonna have a toll on your body. Then you're drinking a whole bunch of stuff to stay up, and then you're like, oh, I'm taking Red Bulls or taking stuff even stronger than that, monsters,
Yeah.
and loading yourself up with Mountain Dew. Of course, it's gonna take a toll on your body. It's
Yeah.
gonna
So
do something.
yeah, I mean, a lot of people, especially in the pro community, take stuff like that. I'm sure you've seen the clips of like Yeti shotgun in a rain. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Stuff like that. But even like me, like I drink a monster. I drink at least one monster every day, sometimes two every day for years, and I would go on detoxes. Though I will say that was the one thing I did. I would go on a detox. I would take about a month and a half to 2 months and just completely cut it out so my body resets. Um, that way I could just feel the caffeine again. But it actually isn't of until recent until I actually put down Monster because I could never drink coffee. I didn't like the taste. I tried it from Starbucks. I tried the super sweet, stuff like
Yeah.
that, and then I
Mhm.
tried it just black, and I couldn't enjoy it. So but as you see, today, I actually am drinking coffee, and this is something I just recently picked up probably about 2 months ago. I started
Mhm.
drinking coffee. I put Monster down completely, and
Good for you, man.
yeah, stuff like that. And my doctor said that I have a fatty liver, and I don't drink at all.
Mm.
So, you know,
Wait,
my
you?
mom. Yeah, you said what?
I said you too. I got a fatty liver as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And my mom and her were also saying that a lot of sugar doesn't help it, and the Monster definitely doesn't help it. So that was a big thing for me to especially move over to coffee and give it another go. And I'm glad I did because yeah, I don't want that to turn into anything
Yeah, that
serious.
could turn into some stuff. Usually, people that drink alcohol, a lot of alcohol, consume
Mm-hmm.
get fatty liver, and it's not good. You're uh, you're taking the right path by
Yep.
switching over to something organic, something clean, and I mean, there's a tons of creamers out there. That's one of them you're gonna like. Is gonna taste good. Just add it
Mm-hmm.
onto your coffee if you like the vanilla, if you like the pumpkin spice, or they have tons of those.
Yeah.
And remember, not all coffee tastes the same. Then you're gonna have to test out which coffee
Yep.
out
What
there.
blend?
Yeah, which
Yep.
blend you gonna like, and then you're gonna find one you say, you know what, I like this one. This one I enjoyed. This is smooth. This is like this, and you take it, then you find a creamer. Sugars, you got to watch out which sugars you're gonna take. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
there's some. I always recommend the brown sugar, the sugar
Yeah.
cane, the natural ones, organic, even better. It doesn't have anything else added onto it. It's pretty much clean, but that's good because I tell you right now, you're off Monster. That's the probably the best thing you ever did. A
Yeah.
lot of these kids don't know it. I'm gonna tell you, it takes a toll on your body later on because you're doing this every single day. It doesn't
Yep.
stop. Your body says, "Hey, I can't take it." You're putting something in your body that it's just destroying it. It's like you're driving on turbo every single day or nitro. Of course, that's gonna take toll on the engine.
Mm-hmm.
Even PCs, you overclock a PC. That's overclocking has repercussions at the end.
Yep.
Overclock the system all the time and you're using that power, it's going to later on, your motherboard, some other parts are going to say, okay, I give up. Can't
Yeah.
take it. That's why they always say, before you overclock it, make sure 100% this is what you want to do, because it's going to void all the warranties you have in it, and you can say goodbye.
Yeah, you got to take care of you got to take care of your body, and that's, I think a lot of us, gamers get distracted with that, and especially competitive players, you know what I mean? Like, you know, um, we do stuff to make our performance better, whether it's like drink monsters to stay up, late, or have a bad posture like I did because you play better with it, type deal. But yeah, you really, even for the casual player, you really gotta take care of yourself, and actually, like, I guess listen to your body. You want to make sure you're healthy, because the longer you're healthy, the more you'll probably be able to enjoy gaming, and stuff like that. You don't, yeah.
Your body will tell you at the end of the day. You're gonna start feeling
Mm-hmm.
weird, or you start to, use the bathroom and you're peeing and it's like super dark yellow, and it's like, wait 1 second, I need to flush my system here because it's too dark. Now I'm freaking out. But like I tell
Mm.
everyone, just go talk to a professional, go talk to a doctor, seek professional help. They're gonna give you what the best advice ever, and they're gonna tell you what to do. So yeah, streaming does take a lot of time. I mean, I watch you stream. I mean, you're phenomenal, and I know you got a lot of people that miss you. I mean, I know you're trying to find a game
Mm.
that you're trying to like stick to, but you don't have to be that type of streamer. You could be a
Yeah.
streamer that stream multiple games, and it doesn't matter. You just want to make it entertaining. And I know certain people that you're gonna attract. You're gonna have your followers. Every gamer out there, they want to follow someone that's definite into one game.
Mm-hmm.
This is why, for an example, my friend that I tell you that plays Star Citizen, he'll play he'll play that game, and his lobby his channel is packed. But then he'll say, "Okay, today I'm gonna play not World of Tanks,
Mm.
War of Tanks." Then he'll switch to that. But when he does that, his viewership goes. Brrrr.
Yep.
He misses half of it. He's like down to like probably like 50 people, 80 people.
Yeah.
Like, dude, what happened? You had like 300
Oh, dude.
going on, and it's because he switched games. Then he'll go back later on, go back to Star Citizen. Then he goes zoom, gets back
Yep.
to his higher, higher viewers. All his people come back. That kind of sucks,
Mm-hmm.
because you want all your fans with you. You want all the people to watch you play different variety games and have fun with you.
Yeah.
Because your enjoyment is going to be my enjoyment. You having fun, I'm going to have fun. I'm seeing
Mm-hmm.
you having a good time, and I'm going to be asking questions. Oh, what do you do here? What's that? How you like it? Get your opinion. And if you say it's awesome, then I'm going to end up buying it, and or getting it as well, and playing it myself as well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I would love to, stream and everything. And I think it's something I'm still going to do. Like, in my spare time, obviously I'm going to continue to learn coding, and HTML, CSS, JavaScript. That's my main focus right now. And then, in the evenings when I have spare time and stuff like that, I would love to, continue to stream and stuff. But it's like what you said. It's, I've been known to play Siege, and I go and play games like League, like, um obviously the viewership drops, a lot, but you will also get people who come in there and be like, "Hey man, like, wow, I never knew you played League, and this is awesome." Like, they'll stick around and they'll watch. But then you'll also get people who come in and they'll be like, "Dude, you used to average 800 viewers on TSM back in the day. Now look at you, what a fall off." And I'm just like, "Dude, what are you saying, dude?" Like, you know what I mean? It's like, come on, dude. Like, I mean, it doesn't really like bother me, but it's like, what kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, where, like, there should be like some sort of like common sense of like, you don't like say that. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like,
Well, those are usually just young kids. They don't even know the
yeah.
algorithm of how streaming works, and they just go by what they see as numbers. I could tell you, like for an example, Macy J is not getting the same numbers as he used to.
No streamer is in Siege.
No sneer. Now you bring Jinxie along, that's a different story.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's not a professional.
No, he's
He's
not.
he's a console player, and he is just destroying basically everybody in Twitch.
Oh yeah, he's like the number 1, 2
Number one.
streamer. Yeah,
If you
on
look
the
at other
platform.
people, they're playing their games and everything. They're pros in their games. They're not pulling in the same numbers. The other
Yeah.
day, not long, he pulled in when it was he was
The
hosting the Bolo versus
yeah.
Chaiko. What was it? 104,000?
Yeah,
100?
something like that.
Yeah, 104. Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, I mean that goes to
It was
show
like,
you.
man.
Yeah, I mean that goes to show you too. It's like, even the game that you play, it might not be the most popular game, because I think, everyone can agree that Siege has declined, quite a bit. Like you said, the viewership for everyone, Macy J and Bolo used to get, 5, 6K viewers consistently. Even when I used to stream back in the day, I'd get 800. King George would get, 5, 6K, and now they're all down to like, what, 1,500 and stuff. But then
Not
you have
even that.
Jinxie.
Not even that. Just less than 1,000.
Yeah.
KG
King
was
George
like
gets like 600. Yeah.
500. Well, the thing is, I believe in this industry, you got to spice it up. You got
Mm-hmm.
to bring something different to the table as well. You can't be the same person. You got to know how to,
For 5 years. Yeah, you gotta.
yeah. And that will help you gain. Also, you're going to have to gain you're going to get new followers, and how you're going to get to entertain those new followers that come in.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot. A lot of people don't know. There's a lot to streaming than what it seems.
No, there
Not
is.
like
Yeah.
you just go on your computer and just start playing your video games. You gotta be attentive. You gotta talk to your chat. You gotta make sure you
Yeah, it's
build a
exhausting.
relationship. Yeah, it is exhausting. It could be stressful sometimes, and it's like, man, I'm just better off not even streaming at all, so I can just relax and have a good time.
Yeah. See, and that's also a thing, is a lot of people think that, when you're streaming, they're like, oh, that's, cool. You just get on, you're playing video games. Like, no, like it's not the same, because the people who say that stuff, it's not the same as you just getting on and playing a game, with you and your buddies. Like yeah, sure, like the streamers are also doing that, but they have to literally like like people like Jinxie and the really big streamers. You have to put on a show. Literally, you have to
Oh
put on a
yeah,
show
that's what he
for
does. Put a show.
yeah, for like 8, 10, 12 hours a day, 6, 7 days a week. It's not just, oh, he's just playing video games for that long. Like, no, you have to put on a show. You have to be entertaining. You have to interact with people. And it's very exhausting. It's very tiring. And, that's like one thing, like for me, it's like, I would like to, stream in my spare time. And if it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere. But, there's other stuff that, I want to do. And streaming 8 to 10 hours is like very exhausting, and I don't know if I'm going to have energy to do everything else I want after that. So it's it's very exhausting for people that don't think it is. I mean, I hope you get to experience it one day, but it is very exhausting.
Oh, it is. I streamed a lot before, to the point that I kind of like gave up on it. I will try to go in from time to time, just play for like 1 hour or two.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody pops up, then fine. If not, fine as well. I just
Yeah,
do it
do it for fun.
for fun.
It's the
Yeah.
best way to do it, though. That's what you have to do. If you don't enjoy doing it, you can't.
Yeah, because the thing is, you're gonna stress yourself over it. What's going on with my viewers? Why they're not staying,
Mm-hmm.
or why they come and go? Why am I getting 10 viewers? Why am I not getting 100 or 10 or 20? You're gonna stress over that. And then you're gonna be walking on eggshells when somebody comes in and start cussing or using language that you kind of like feel kind of uncomfortable. Okay, this guy is stretching. He's going borderline. Should I ban him? Should I kick him? But then again, I'm gonna lose a viewer, and all this stuff comes into your mind, and then you're thinking about, okay, that person just subbed, there's money involved, etc. And there's so much stress into it, and it comes to a point that it's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Yeah.
more worried about. So I fully understand you why you don't stream most of the time, because you just like, you want to relax. And gaming is a hobby, is something to relax and have a good time.
Exactly.
And if you're gonna play being stressed, you're just better off don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't just even stream. But
I've
then
lived
again,
at the peak of that.
yeah. But then again, you got your people that are loyal, they love you,
Yeah.
they'll do whatever, and they just can't wait to see you stream again. Now, what's really crazy about the algorithm of Twitch is that you could have, and I talked to this before. I think I don't know who it was. I think who I had on the show was with Chris Lama or somebody. Was that you could see that this person has so and so amount, could have like 100,000 or 1,000,000 followers. You're like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, this guy's big. But when they stream, they're only getting 15,000. They're getting 10,000 viewers every single time they go live. And sometimes I question myself. I'll say, okay, something is not right. What's going on here? You got 3 million, 5 million followers, and out of that 5 million followers, you're only getting 10,000 viewers?
Mm.
You would assume you would have gotten like half of it, or something, at least 1 million. Okay, I got 5 million followers, but every single time I go in, I'm getting 1 million viewers. It's really weird. It's very, very strange how the viewerships, it goes very, very low.
Yeah, it's like even like my Twitch channel. My Twitch channel has I think I have a little bit over 100K, followers, and that's a lot for someone who plays
Oh,
Siege,
really good. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a lot. Because back in the day at the peak of my streaming, I was getting, on average 700-800 viewers. I was getting like 500 follows a stream sometimes. I'd stream like 8 to 10 hours and 800 viewers. I was getting a lot of viewers, and like I said, now when I start my stream up and I go play like League or something, I'll get like 30 viewers, and people come in my stream and they'll be like, dude, you have 100K followers, why do you only have 30 viewers? And it's like, like most of my followers are from years ago. They're from a different game, and to be quite honest, there's probably quite a few of the people in that, in the followers list that just have new accounts now or something too. You know what I mean? It just
true.
So
True.
it's but or they a lot of these people follow hundreds, probably 1,000 people when they get on. They don't
Yeah,
So
they just follow to follow
yeah.
100, a lot of people. Now, what with streaming, what computer do you have? What type of rig? What sort of specs do you have on your PC?
Yeah, I bought this PC a few years back. TSM obviously gave me a few PCs, but this one, I think I have a 3080 Ti, and I have a Ryzen CPU. I forget which one it is exactly, but yeah, I could stream Siege on. This is my only rig I have set up for streaming. I do have other PCs I could set up for streaming, which I was always tempted to try, but I know setting up the configuration with audio and stuff like that is a bit of a headache with all that, so I never really did it, because on this PC I could stream Siege at 1080p at about 260 to 300 FPS, so it always did me fine.
Yeah, the 3080 Ti, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Till today, I don't care about that 40 series. That's I have some friends of mine say, "Hey, you're gonna upgrade? You're gonna upgrade?" I'm saying, I have a 3070 Ti.
Yeah.
I don't need to upgrade. I'm gonna wait to the
Mm-hmm.
the 5000 series come out, because the 4000 series doesn't.
Yeah.
It's it's gonna be a waste. If I had an older one than what I have now, then fine. But I'm not gonna waste my money. The 3070 Ti will do just excellent. If it could run my flight simulator
That's
really
all you
good,
need.
that's all I need.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not maxing it out because that game, that's a totally different beast. It uses every component of your
Hmm.
hardware. It will use up all your memory. You need to have the fastest memory card, processor. I
Yeah.
mean, so much stuff to it. But with your system, you're perfectly fine for streaming anything.
Yeah.
You can even do how much RAM do you have?
32. I even can stream
That's,
Tarkov at 1080. I can stream pretty much any game at 1080p.
yeah, you're perfect. I mean, with that card, you could even do 4K.
Yeah, I mean, you probably could.
Yeah, you could do 4K. 38. If I could do 4K, you could do 4K. Of course, my frame rates will drop down, but
Yeah.
with your 3080 Ti, you're perfectly good. Could do you could
Yeah,
do
I'm
1080. You
I'm
could do
not gonna
2K. I think
upgrade.
yeah, I think 2K would be perfect.
Yeah. I don't see a point, and I'm like the type of dude where I don't spend like money unless like I'm a frugal guy. Like I have this PC, like I'm not gonna honestly probably ever upgrade this thing until the games that I play, need an upgrade.
Correct. I'm
So
the same way.
yeah.
I'm
I'm
the
not just gonna
same way.
go and buy a new graphics card for,
The
two
heck
or
of
two or
it.
3K.
And
But
then I know some people that were upgrading their 3090s.
yeah.
3090 graphics. Oh, I gotta upgrade it. And I'm like, you got a 3090. Why you need a 4090 for?
Yeah.
Oh no, because of my games. I said, what game do you play? Rainbow Six Siege. I said, are you kidding me? You must be. That's the only game you play. Yes. I said, you don't need a 4090. Your
No.
3090 will do perfect. As a matter of fact, a 3060 will do. A 2080 will do
Yeah.
perfect.
Even
You
for
don't need a.
Siege.
Yeah. For
Even for
Rainbow
Siege, you just need like a good CPU.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Yeah.
And then what's really funny is that they once they install this big clunker, this massive beast of graphics card.
Gotta get a new case.
No, what they do is they go to the game setting and they lower down the
Oh
graphics.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh my god, why are you lowering it if that could just eat the game alive?
Yeah, if you're a competitive player, most competitive players, that's what you do. You lower all the settings down to low. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But I mean, yeah, as long as you're getting enough FPS for your monitor's refresh rate, like you're fine. Like if you have
yeah.
a 240 monitor, if you get 240 FPS, there's no sense of upgrading.
There's
Or
no sense. Now,
yeah,
if you tell me, okay, I want to get into Flight Sim, I want to get into Star Citizen, I want to get into
hmm,
some other games that it uses high intense graphics. Bethesda games usually are like that. They
yeah,
will suck up a lot. Then fine, you could upgrade, but with 30 and the 30 series, you're perfectly fine for the next, I'd say another 5 years. You'd be good to go. These developers, I mean, remember these companies, graphics card, Nvidia and Radeon, they got to make money somehow.
just like
So
Apple.
every year, yeah, every year they're gonna upgrade and just little twitches, little things here and there. This is why they still do the comparison of the 3080 Ti versus the 4090, their 4080s, and they just like it's very minimal. Well, this one will give you 10 frame rates more. I mean, 10? Come on, seriously?
Yeah,
Nah, I don't. There's no game out there right now that could make these cars that we got to
yeah.
struggle.
If you got money to throw around, I guess go for it. You know what I mean? Like,
I know. Save
yeah,
your money. I mean, right now you're doing your college stuff and
yeah.
streaming. I mean, I'm sure you're gonna. League of Legends is a that's a really big
Oh yeah, it is.
big game. I didn't know that the fan base was that massive.
Oh, it's one of the biggest games out there, and it's been like that for years. The hardest thing for me though is streaming a game that I'm like not very good at. So like for me, like in League, I'm like Emerald. The new season just started, so I want to hit Diamond. Which is not super high, but it's like it's probably like above middle of the pack. Um, and it's hard for me, as a competitive player who played Siege at the highest level for years. It's so hard for me to play a game and get shit on and put on a smile. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to do that.
Have you ever played and you got beaten at a game and you would tell that person, yeah, why don't you switch over to Rainbow, play against me?
Occasionally, yep, it has happened. I remember, yeah, back in the day, when I first started playing Siege, and I was starting to get really good, I'd make bets with my IRL friends, and they're like, "Listen, if I beat you in a 1v1, you got to buy 2K." And I'm like, "Oh goodness!" And he ended up beating me, and I had to buy 2K, and I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah, that's funny because what game I was playing? I think I was playing, what was it, Overwatch 2 or something. I was getting crushed. I was getting beat. I told one of my buddies, I said, I tell you what, why don't you switch over to Rainbow just a quick let's see how you look. I don't know Rainbow. I was like, yeah.
You talking all that, but come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I bet that does happen, not only to you, to a lot of people. They're pros at one game,
Oh yeah.
they were the best, they won, and then when they go to another game and they're playing it, they're like, man, reality hits. Okay, I'm not good at this game. I'm basically a silver, to speak, on a
Yeah.
Rainbow term, and you're gonna have to work up your way up to get good. Now, when you were with TSM, have you got to meet any other pros from other games? Because TSM weren't they in League of Legends as well?
Yeah. So I've got to meet quite a few people. So like Myth, the streamer.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Myth is actually kind of like a good friend of ours. He would come down to Vegas and we'd go out to dinner with him. Just like me, Bo, him, Pojo would go to. Like we would just go out to dinner with him and just hang out. But I've met all the big timers at TSM too. Andy, a lot of the executives now. Some of them have obviously like moved on, like Walter has, and I've met Imperial Hal and all the Apex guys because they used to live in Vegas as well. And yeah, no, it's opened me up to like a lot of um like avenues, I guess, in the gaming scene. Like I've been able to branch off a lot into it. Like I met like Summit one day at a dream. This was before TSM, but I met him at a DreamHack one day, and then back in like 2018, I think at DreamHack Austin, and I took a picture with him and stuff. And then later on, when I was on TSM and everything, I guess he came across my profile and because I posted the picture of us, and then he ended up following me back and everything. So I was like that, fanboy moment for me because I always liked watching Summit. Summit was a really chill dude, and I enjoyed watching him. But
Talk about Summit. Very, very nice guy.
yeah,
He was playing with a buddy of mine in Halo, and then during his chat, I was talking to him, telling him certain things, and then he ended up following me on Twitter. I was like,
yeah,
I wanted to post that. It's like, guess who's following me? But I didn't want to. I didn't want to do that. That's a little bit too much bragging right there. I said, fine, but he's very, very chill guy. Very, very cool. Very mellow. It's not. I when he's streaming, he doesn't show that cockiness and doesn't talk to you or chat with you. Doesn't care who you are. He's very, very nice guy. Those are the type of people that I like to hang out with. Feel like that. Just if you're nerdy or who cares, if you're quiet, fine, perfect, cool. I don't care if you have like big numbers on your stream or you need to have. If you're chill, you're nice and fine.
yeah.
And he's one of the guys that has a big amount of viewerships, and when he's streaming, hits out to 15 or 17, whatever. But he's still very humble, really cool guy.
Yeah, he's very chill.
Very chill. Now, those people that I know that they have 2 or 3 viewers, they're very chill, then fine, I'll support you. I don't care. And I'll hang out there in the channel as much as I can because I watch Twitch a lot while I'm at work, but I basically don't be looking at my phone. I listen to it
Yeah, yeah.
because
Like a
I'm
podcast, kind of.
yeah, like a podcast kind of way. I just listen to you, you're talking, whatever. And if I could go in real quick and text something in, I will. But as you know, I work in the medical field, so I got to keep an eye on my patients. And I'm a tech. I'm not a doctor. People think you're not. No, I'm just a tech. I work for the doctors. That's what I do. I just make sure they're doing they're properly connected. Everything's going well with the heart rhythms, and that's what I do. So I got to keep an eye on the EKG constantly. So I'm just listening to the stuff. So I just whatever's entertaining, whatever's nice, really cool, that's what I watch.
Yeah.
I tend to tune in. So now as for you, you went to DarkZero, you stood there for 3 months, you did some streaming. Now you're thinking about streaming anything else? I mean, now you're studying and what's more, is there anything you're trying to achieve now for the future other than that? You're thinking, are you going to get married, fiance, or?
Eventually, I just moved into a new house actually with my girlfriend.
Okay.
So we've been together a little over a year now. And that was also kind of a big deal for the reasons why I retired too from Siege, is because I'm looking more to start a family here in the near future. Within the next year, 2, 3 years, I want to get married. I want to have kids and stuff like that. And with Siege, like I love Siege and everyone who plays it. Keep playing it. But for me, I didn't see much of a long-term future in it as a pro player.
Mhm.
And I'm sure that's no surprise to a lot of people. And I hope it turns around. I really do. But for me, like that was a very big thing for me, is that I want to have something more long term. And yeah. So, but yeah, in the future,
Yeah, you want something long term, something
something
stable.
stable. Yeah,
Yeah,
for my family.
for your family, because a lot of pro players. That's one of the things that I took from Kickstarter, rest his soul,
Mm-hmm.
was that he said that he was so much under pressure because people say, "Are you coming back? Are you coming back? You want to?" He goes, "Listen, now, I
Yeah.
rather stay where I'm at. I got a job. This is what I do. I do casting, and I'm comfortable here, and I could be here for years. But when you're a pro, you're walking on eggshells because you never know they're gonna pull you in and say, 'Hey, listen, we're gonna have to let you go.'"
Exactly. And then you might not get that other opportunity. And that brings me to another point, is like, to a lot of pro players, or not even necessarily pro players, even like streamers, because streamers are kind of in the same, field. Like, it's, if you're a big streamer, like you're kind of, secured, but I don't mean to talk down, but even when you look at people like King George, or Bolo or Macy J, or like people in Siege, you see their viewership drop. You got to be
Right.
careful. And not only to pro players, I'm talking to streamers too. I would just recommend you be kind of frugal with your money. You know what I mean? You need to save money and have a backup plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, it,
100% with you. Yeah.
yeah, like, listen, I like the philosophy of I don't need a backup plan. This is my only plan, so it's going to work, and, stuff like that. Like, yeah, I understand it's cool. I used to be that dude too, but, take it from someone who just
I
recently,
I
take
love
it,
the faith, but that's not the
yeah,
way I want to go.
yeah, take it from someone who recently retired. Like, I'm not in pressure to go and get a job real quick and do that while I'm studying still. I have time, I can study, I can figure out what's next for me. So that's my only thing, is like, if you are, pursuing something in a professional setting, like, in esports, or, in streaming, so stuff like that. I just hope that people are doing other stuff at the same time. If you're trying to be a pro, go to school, do something, until, like, you make it big, big time, I guess. And even when you do, I guess, make it big time, save some money, have for a rainy day. Don't go and, you know, buy $5,000 shoes and, you know, all this stuff, like, you know, because you never know what the future is going to hold. And, you know, one day it might not be there. And yeah, just be smart.
100% with you. And that happened to me. I was in marketing. I worked for this company that actually you got to get recruited to get work for them. What we did is we helped restore car businesses, dealerships, and I was averaging 105 a year. Okay, and I was making really good money. Then I would be averaging 2,000 to 3,000, 5,000, sometimes a week. This was weekly, $2,000-3,000 a week. Yeah, just averaging 3,000 a week and more. There's been times that I would just look at my briefcase and I'll look and then I'll see, man, I have this $3,000 check. I forgot to cash it in. It's like a month and a half old. Like, dang, let me put this in the bank before it voids or whatever. And was making a lot of money. But then again, I was wasting a lot of money too. I didn't because I said this is going to be my job forever.
Yeah.
Brother, that's when GM went bankrupt. My career went down the hill. The owner of the company said, you know what, guys? GM went bankrupt. I lost all the contracts, but I'm good because I saved up all my money. And I'm a millionaire now. Got my millions. So, folks, I'm shutting business. I'm closing, and I'm gonna live off of this and my stocks that I invested and whatever. And he was done. This guy was in his 30s.
Yeah.
Late 30s. And I was like, dang. And then I look back, I was like, I was so dumb with my money. Why didn't I save it? I could kick myself in the rear a million times. I was so upset because I didn't save. And I tell a lot of my friends, tell a lot of people, listen, save your money. You're making good money. Yes. Keep it quiet, stay humble, save your money, because there's gonna come a time that when the streaming is not fun no more, your certain things are gonna be more important to you.
Yeah.
What you're gonna have.
Exactly.
You know, you can't a lot of pro players say, well, I get done with Pro League. Well, I got my stream, my fans in the stream on Twitch, I could still, or Kick or whatever, I could still make money off of. Well, let me tell you, it doesn't happen like that.
Nope.
It doesn't happen like that. I know the number one player right now, and I mean, this guy was the GOAT of Halo, and he was like, geez, I don't think anybody was better than, he was like the number one for years. Him and his brother won like 50 or 40 championships in that game.
Yeah.
And they won a lot and they were number one. And now when they go in and they start streaming, they're only getting what, 40, 50, 60 viewers?
Yeah, no, it's
money
hard out there.
They're not making money at all. You know, they're not making that much.
Yeah.
Now, if they go for an event to do a special thing, that's where they're going to make their money. But now this new generation that comes in, they don't even know who they are.
Yeah. No, that's why I brought it up too, is because I see a lot of like Bolo, you know, obviously everyone knows Bolo, but me and Bolo used to go and we would literally go shop at Ross. You know, we're over here, you know, we're making good money on TSM. You know, we won the world championship. You know, we got a pretty good payday, you know, but we're over here going to shop at Ross because, you know, but a lot of pro players, especially, you know, they're into fashion, and you know, I get that and all that, but I'm just because I'll see a lot of people going, like I said, they'll spend their whole paycheck on an outfit and stuff like that, and I'm just like, dude, I hope you got some put away because you know, the rainy day, you know, I hope it doesn't come, but it may, and I mean, to even go back to the streaming point that you just brought up too, it's like, you know, I was a pro player, and I feel like out of most of the Rainbow Six pro players, I was one of the most consistent in terms of streaming, creating content, and stuff like that. You know, between a lot of pros, like there's very few probably pros that did it more than me. And I mean, like obviously I haven't gave streaming like a really, really good shot. Like I've only ever streamed for like a week or two consistently, like since then. But yeah, I mean it's tough. So, don't think, when it's all said and done, oh, I'm just gonna go do this and I'm, probably not gonna earn as much as I did pro, but like trust me, it's a lot harder than you think it is. And maybe you'll be like me, and when you get done with whatever you're doing, you don't even want to stream because you might not enjoy it as much anymore or enjoy the game as much and stuff like that. So you just got to be careful, and you got to be, smart with your money. So
There's people that totally, once they get done with Pro League, they sell their PCs. They're like done with it.
oh yeah,
I don't want to play no more. I'm fed up. I want to dedicate to something so totally different. And they're just like done. They don't even stream.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even
happens to a lot of pro players.
Yeah, they just like they got burned out over it, and then they just like they're done. They don't want to deal with it no more.
Yeah, because gaming, like you said, like we said beginning, it's a hobby, and when you're a pro player, you're putting in 10, 12 hours a day. It's not a hobby for you at that point. It's a job.
Correct,
it's
a job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a job, and you're putting in a lot of time and effort, and you're making a lot of good memories, but you're also burning yourself out. And when I first retired, I didn't play much games for the first month after I retired. I went and I did a lot of stuff outside. I went fishing, I went to the beach, I went and did a lot of stuff. But I'm always going to game. It's just what games I play. Like I said, I enjoy other games now, but there's some people that I'm very good friends with who, like you said, they used to be pro players and they sold their PC systems, or they haven't even been on in months, and it happens. You get burnt out.
Yeah, that happens a lot. There was a guy on your team. Oh, jeez, look at me. My brain is not here now.
Chala?
No, he when TSM left, I think he left as well.
Gasher.
My God.
Yeah.
Sorry,
he still plays. He still plays Valorant. Actually, I think he's trying to do that in his spare time. But yeah, I feel bad for Gasher and Snake. But yeah,
Gasher. He was really excited, and he followed me on.
He's a good guy.
Very good guy. Good guy. He was actually I think he was the first pro that got to follow me on Twitter. I was like, oh, this is so freaking cool, and because I was friends with I'm friends with Packer and Tristan and all them. They were the ones that Packer was the one that kind of introduced me to the pro league world.
Yeah.
And that's how I became friends with so many and got to eventually mod for over 30 pro players.
Yeah.
A bunch of pro and semi-pros.
Yeah, I feel bad for both Gasher and Snake because they only ever lived in a TSM house for like a month and a half, 2 months, and they got to experience like,
a little glimpse.
Yeah, they got to experience it a little bit. I experienced that for 2.5 years, living in Vegas in a nice house, making good money and playing, traveling the world and stuff like that. I feel bad for both of those guys because they got to experience it for a month or two. Obviously,
this is a team house, or this was a house you rented?
This was a team house that TSM had. They paid for everything. We didn't pay for anything. The only thing we bought was food. But yeah, they got to experience it a little bit. They moved out there for a month and a half, 2 months, and then. But yeah, I feel bad for them, and I feel bad for a lot of the upcoming Siege pros because, in my opinion, I don't think a lot of them will ever experience that, and it's sad because when I look back, I had such great memories, man. That was so awesome, and it was just so good. I loved it, every single bit of it, and I just feel bad because I think some people won't get to experience it, and I hope they do. So
sad, yeah. Gasher. Yeah, I know he said he was going to go to
He's
Valorant.
Yeah, he's
Go
playing
back.
Valorant and he's still in school as far as I'm aware. I haven't talked to him too much, but
Yeah, I try to reach out to him, but it's been a while back. I haven't reached out. But when I did, just checking on him, seeing if he's doing okay. He hasn't streamed. I haven't seen him
yeah.
stream.
He
I haven't
used
seen him.
to he was on like a long streak. You remember when he was on TSM? He was doing like hot wing challenges and everything. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, phenomenal. But I haven't even seen a post from him
Yeah.
on Twitter or nothing. So I'm thinking, okay, he's very occupied. He's super busy. He's probably doing, something with school or work or whatever. So that happened. Now, has anybody tried to reach out to you to join in to come back or anything after DarkZero?
No team has, and honestly, I wouldn't like. I always said even after TSM, I always said the only team that I would come and play for would be DarkZero.
Oh,
Any other,
really?
yeah, any other team, I don't see it, especially like these newer teams. Like I'm not trying to rebuild something. Like I built TSM from the start. Like that was my team I created in Challenger League. And I built it from the start. I added, Pojo, Gotcha, all the coaching, Merc, Bo, everyone like, I built that team and I'm not trying to rebuild it because it's a lot of stress and I don't think I had the passion for it anymore. And I just knew DZ was like solidified. They had a structure and they had all that stuff. So that was something that I could, I think, fit myself into. And I enjoyed it. I really did. I enjoyed playing with those guys a lot.
So why
And
DZ? Were you just really good friends with Troy or?
no, so me and Troy, we weren't like super good friends. I think we both had a respect for each other. Like we talked a little bit. I would say, anytime we were at social events like parties or after parties and stuff like that, we would talk. So yeah,
Competitiveness you guys have in between each other.
yeah,
You two male lions.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'd play in the NAL when I was on TSM, he was on DZ. And we'd yell at each other, after the rounds and stuff.
All
But
right.
it was all competitiveness, and we loved it. And I just knew that they had a good environment. And there is some things, and I even told the guys on DZ, me being like the captain and stuff of TSM and me building that team from the ground up, there's some things that I never got to implement that DZ had. And I told them this, that I wish I would have got to implement because they have some really good things going over there. Like, in my opinion, the number one thing is the team camaraderie. They have so much of it. Like on DZ, I actually believe that your teammates believe in you and stuff like that. And on TSM, we did, I would say, at the beginning. But, when you're on a team with the same people for 2 or 3 years, people start getting, it's just like jobs. People get very comfortable and they don't continue to say the small stuff like, yo, nice play, blah, blah, blah. You got this, blah, blah, blah. They don't continue to give you
The compliments.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you just get used to it, or people just get used to you doing certain stuff, and you doing X, you winning the round, or blah blah blah, and they don't say anything, and it's just like, yeah, I mean that's one thing that I really liked over there on DZ was just their camaraderie. They have so much of it, and I actually believe that people on that team believe in each other, and it's very good. And I even told them this when I left. I said, "Man, dude, I really wish I would have got to play with y'all more because I actually think we could have did something great." But
So yeah,
unfortunately, it's just not in the cards for me.
yeah, you had lots of fun. It's like Merc now is having a lot of fun with Wildcard.
Mm. Yeah.
And I mean, you get to meet new people, you get you find that click.
Mm-hmm.
You got a chemistry. He was with SSG. He said it went
Yeah.
really good over there, but then he went to Wildcard, and it's a totally different atmosphere, something different. And he said he's having a blast. He likes it a lot, and he's happy, and we're
Yeah.
happy. I
That's
mean,
good.
now I'm part of the org. I'm as a Twitch specialist and working communications, and now I'm podcasting, and etc. So I'm super happy about that, and it's pretty fun being part of this organization. So get more. I get to know a little bit more things about what goes behind the scenes that you just don't know, and you learn.
Yeah.
Now I get to talk to some CEOs, and it's pretty fun, pretty neat environment. I didn't know all the work that goes into pro league in an
Mhm.
organization.
Yeah.
These CEOs, I tip my hat off to them because it's so much work.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh my God, you're that busy. And they're like, yeah. I
Yeah.
had the CEO of M80
Mhm.
come into the podcast, and he he was telling me how much, how busy he is. I was like, wow. And
Yeah,
even
Marco.
Marco, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice guy, very serious guy.
Yeah, I've
Very
talked to Marco a bit too. He is a nice guy. I met him at the NAL,
yeah.
back when he was actually a part of Exit though.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
he was back when he was part of Exit, and Thomas was on the team. Thomas introduced me to him, and we sat by him, and we watched the NAL game together because he owned Exit, or he was an owner of Exit, so he was allowed to be in the arena, and because at the time they didn't allow audiences. But yeah, I sat next to him, and we had a conversation and everything. He seems like a nice
Yeah,
dude.
very cool guy, very serious. I mean, he's fun, but I could tell because I could read people, and I could see the lawyer in him because
Mm.
he's an attorney.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's an attorney, so you
Mm.
could feel this guy's an attorney, and then usually every judge was an attorney, so you could feel that this guy, keep him on your good side. You don't want to mess with him.
Yeah.
A very very nice guy. I truly loved the experience having him on here on the show as well. Really cool. But yeah, so yeah, being with an organization, it has benefit me on and helping me out with the podcast. It's been pretty fun. Get to
Yeah.
meet new people,
That's good.
through
That's awesome.
Twitch and everything. So
Make a lot of connections that way.
a lot of connections. Yes, a lot of connections. And not that I'm going to tell you honestly, streaming is tough. Podcasting is really tough as
Oh,
well.
I'm sure.
It's not as easy as people think. Oh, you go plug in to start talking. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Think
Yeah,
that.
you have to work with a bunch of people and
You
try
got
to
to
get
work.
them to show up on time and
Yeah, and if it
yeah.
does show up, who do you have as backup and what to
Yeah.
do? And then scheduling is a pain. Somebody had a call. I can't go in. I can't call. I got to call
Yeah.
out. I'm
No, I'm
sick.
sure.
You got so much stuff to it. But
That's how it is with a lot of things. Even though like being a caster in like Siege, I give a lot of criticism to the Siege casters, and I'm like y'all need to do better, blah blah blah. But me personally, I know I can't go and be a Siege caster. I just can't. It's a lot of work to talk consistently about stuff that's going on for 3 minutes and finding something to talk about and be entertaining for thousands of viewers watching the stream and communicate stuff like that. Like it's very hard, and I think that's just everything. Everything is hard. It's just
I
you
don't
just
know
gotta
how
enjoy
my buddy Lax does it. I mean,
it.
I told Lax, he's doing phenomenal. He's
Yeah.
doing super good. Casting. He's doing a great job, and it's fluid in it. And I'm
Hmm.
like, damn, this guy is a born natural caster. He's
Yeah.
not that good. And I'm like, I don't want to tell him, listen, you do better casting than you were playing. That's a joke,
Yeah.
but no, he's really good at it, and he's stuck with Siege. Because some people, I know it's hard. I mean, not only on esports, but on other professions. This is why it took years for Tom Brady and the NFL to say goodbye. Because you've been in the sport for so long, and you went through ups and downs, good times, and you bled,
Hmm.
sweat and tears and blood, everything. You went through it on the sport that you grew up in, and to say goodbye is hard.
Oh yeah,
And
it
this
is.
is why I know for you it was hard to say goodbye. You were in DarkZero for how long? For 3 months, 4 months?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, eventually I gotta hang up the clubs. I gotta say goodbye to this. I gotta do something now for my future and think about now of your of your future wife and
Mm-hmm.
the kids. You planning everything out, make sure everything hits the schedule, hits what you put down on for your path. And that's really good, man. I tip my hat off to you, Achieve. You're it's phenomenal that you're thinking the way you're thinking, because that's very smart. Very smart of you.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it's not easy, giving up, like you said, walking away from something that you love, you've put, all your blood, sweat, and tears in. It's very hard. It's a lot of emotions, But yeah, that's just looking forward to the future. When you want to start a family, you gotta.
You gotta
Yep,
think smart, think ahead, saving your money, do what you gotta do,
yep,
and then you're gonna notice that even your friend selections are gonna change.
yeah, yeah.
Then you're gonna start making friends that they're married.
Yep, yep. They're
It's it
married. They want
it's
kids,
yeah.
stuff like that.
You're gonna
Eventually, yeah,
choose your friendship. You're gonna be that. I've been through that. I had
yep.
friends that were all single. We would hang out, but then all of a sudden, when I got married, the friends I chosen, it started switching a little bit. Now my friends are either much older or my same age, or probably could be a little bit younger as well, but they're very mature. Then you're gonna
Hmm.
start thinking, who are the ones in your inner circle, which friends you're gonna hang out with. Now, you want to have friends that are married so they could go out on couples date, because it'd
Yep.
be weird as like you and your wife goes out with a single guy.
Exactly,
Like,
exactly.
it's not that it's bad, yes, but it's not something like you're gonna be
It's
doing all the time,
yeah,
because you're gonna want to go in groups, and then that
exactly.
kind of happens.
You don't
But
want it. No, you don't want it to be awkward at all.
yeah, I
So
guess it got awkward. Yeah,
yeah.
but well, Chief, I'm gonna wrap this up here soon, and I want to thank you so much for coming into the channel, talking about your experience, everything that you went. Of course, it's not the first nor the last time you're gonna be here. I want you back here later on down the road
Sounds
in the
good.
future. It's a phenomenal experience having you on. Probably one of these days we'll bring somebody else, so we could do like a trio,
Yeah.
probably with Bolo or with Merck and or Pojo, have all or bring some of the guys in here so we all talk together, have some fun. Um, but thank you so much for stopping by, man. Thank you for being on the podcast. It was fun. It was actually fun. I didn't know the time was going to go that fast. You see what I'm talking about?
They go pretty quick.
Guys, for those who's listening, I was like, okay, it should be no more than 45 minutes, or is it not gonna pass an hour? Because I get this question all the time. But when the chemistry clicks, you get two people, the conversations are good, and you get this good vibe. The energy comes through really good. You get once you notice, it's like, oh
Yep.
my goodness, 1 hour and 47 minutes just passed. What the heck? Because that's how it is. There are certain people that I seen podcasters, they'll get in an interview, there was someone,
Mm.
and you could feel like the energy is awkward. They're totally opposite.
Yeah.
And it just lasts 30 minutes, 25 minutes, and they're just like, okay, gotta go, see you, bye, and then that's it. Or
Interrogation.
yeah, it just feels really weird. The episode just like goes very, very weird, and they just talk certain points, and it gives out the points, and then goodbye. But when there's chemistry and people get along, it flows really good, and it's like, dang, it's like I know this guy such a long time. It's like a buddy of mine for years. We could go on hours talking. So that's how I feel with you, Achieve. It's phenomenal.
Sweet.
So Achieve, I'm gonna give you a time to tell everybody where they could find you, either on Instagram, Twitter, all this stuff. The stage is yours. Go ahead.
Yeah, so well, first of all, thank you for having me, obviously. I enjoyed it. Anytime, you'd like to speak again, sounds good. But yeah, I mean, if y'all want to follow me, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram is all pretty much achieved. So if y'all want to, stop by the live stream sometime, message me on Twitter or Instagram or stuff like that, especially anyone who's in the coding and programming world, because obviously that's something that I want to, get into. So anyone in that field who has some expertise and stuff, just want to, DM me and talk about it and stuff like that. That would be awesome. I'd appreciate it. So yeah, y'all can check me out at Achieved. And yeah, once again, thank you for having me, and I appreciate it. And thank you for anybody listening.
Okay, guys. So you know what time it is? It's time to say goodbye. So please follow the man. He's on Twitter, on Twitch, phenomenal streamer. So please drop him a follow. He's a super, super human being. Okay, folks. Till next time, till next week. Take care. God bless you. God bless everyone. Love you guys. Peace.